Okay. Is this you, Shamla Mataji?
No, Mate, I'm invocation.
Kita Mahatmya. Puganeshwari Mataji. Are you here? Mataji is not here. Okay, Harish Prabhu also not here. Okay, who would like to read? Sivaranjani Mataji. Darshini Mataji.
The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So let's take darshan of Sri Radha Krishna Kanaya. They are from ISKCON Seberang Jaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnana Salakaya Chaksurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gita Mahatmya. Sorry, that was Puganeshwari Mataji. Okay. Janani. Divya Mataji. Who's around? Kausalya Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji, I'm actually driving right now.
Okay. Carry on, Mataji. Carry on, Mataji.
Mataji, I can read.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. One who day and night hears and recites the Gita is never to be taken as a mere human being. Without a doubt, he is a veritable God.
Thank you, Mataji. So, veritable God. It's translated from Deva Rupa. Means such an elevated person. So, it's called veritable God. Because as I mentioned, the devas, they're actually positions. Okay, those who have fulfill certain requirements, they are eligible to obtain that positions. So we can obtain that position because we recite Gita day and night. Okay, if we recite day and night, hear and recite, right? Both also beneficial. Okay. Okay, so yesterday we didn't do chapter 8's recap. Okay, so it started with Arjuna asking how many questions actually. So we need to go really fast. We have 3 stories and we want to finish fast and I'm also tired.
8, Mataji.
Okay, very good. 8. So we covered the second verse, which had how many questions? 5 and 3. Yes. Okay, so what was Arjuna's question that Krishna answered and which we covered yesterday? Okay, who is Brahman? Brahmana, not Brahma. That's one of the questions. Okay, Lord of the sacrifice. That's 8.2, right? So what was his third question? The 8th question, actually. How to remember Krishna at time of death? How does Lord of the sacrifice live in the body? Yes. Okay, very good. So that's the question that set the topic of the day yesterday. Okay, this is his question. So what did Krishna answer? What did Krishna answer for that particular question? Remembering who? Remembering him. And what did Krishna promise for such people? So get your notes, everything ready. Open your Bhagavad Gita or the PDF. Attain his abode. Okay, yes, very good. Okay, so this is the answer. Whoever remembers Krishna at the time of death attains the supreme destination or his abode. Okay, and then we went to the next sloka. Remember the guy in the hospital, the frog and the fly? What was that verse about? Yes, thank you, Lavanya Mataji. That's right. The last thought, okay? What influences the last thought? Okay, so these are all correct. What a person thinks at the time of death, he gets that. We become what we think at the time of death. Which state we quit, that will become our next birth. Okay, we are still in, yeah, this is, 8.6. So what influences these thoughts at the time of death? I think that's a big caption that I put on the slide yesterday. Did you see? Did you notice? Yes, what we have been practicing. Yes, very good. So that will influence our flashback at the time of death. One state of mind at death determines the destination attained in the next slide. Okay, and then we went to 8.7. Okay, what was 8.7? You can refer and let me know. Remember, Arjuna wanted to give up his duties. So what did Krishna say pertaining to that? What we should do? Yeah, so there are two things, yeah. Not only think of him or not only do duty, do your duty and think of him. This is what we must implement in our life. All right, so were you conscious about it today when you went to work, when you went to your college, if you're going to college? So you are carrying your duty at the same time you're thinking of Krishna. Oh, Tasradam Prabhu, very good. Thank you. Congratulations. Right. So this is how you implement this immediately. You don't have to implement at the time of death. You can implement it tomorrow. Right? So it's immediate. Yes, his thought keep coming in. Actually, I wanted to ask this question yesterday, I think. So how did you notice yourself moving along the day? Were you thinking about just your job, the salary at the end of the month, the bonus, the promotion? Or you're thinking, okay, Krishna, I'm doing this. I don't like this job, but I'm doing this for you. Have you found yourself in that kind of situation? You know, it happens like that. I always tell my friend, if you really, hate that job or particular day, you're having a very bad day, just think that you're going to do this and the result you're going to surrender to Krishna or do it as a sacrifice for Krishna. This is in chapter 5, right? Krishna said, whatever you do as a sacrifice for me. Okay, so in that way, you will not feel frustrated. You are doing your duty. So remember, at every position, we are all Arjuna at one point of time. Wow. Okay, somebody privately shared with me. I dreamed about narrating the pastime of Krishna to some stranger this morning. Haribol, remember yesterday I said the entire thoughts that you have in your life and it comes and play in before your eyes and you're going to leave your body. It's like how you are engrossed in certain thoughts entire day and it comes in your dream. So maybe that one, Mataji. Yeah, Krishna and the teaching keeps coming to the mind. Yes. So it shouldn't be just for today or tomorrow or 18 days or weekdays. You take a break. No. Okay, we're going to take a 3 days break. So when come on Monday, try to remember what we studied. Okay. So you have to do it every day. Yeah, then it will be a practice. I think I have to share this. Surprisingly, I keep seeing Krishna's image every time I go through social media, anything on him, he's teaching. Okay, yeah, this one, right? Remember we covered in, was it in chapter 7, where Krishna said, I'm the taste of water, I'm the intelligence of the intelligent, prowess of the strength. You know, this is how Krishna is encouraging us to see him in everything. And we will see more in chapter 10. That will be even more interesting. Okay, like in every category, the best thing that is me, he will say, Krishna will say. So that will be very interesting. Right. So thanks for sharing all these messages. It's very inspiring. Okay. So think of Krishna, carry our duty. That way we will attain Krishna's abode. Okay. Now talking about Krishna's abode, tell me something that you recall. What about his abode? What about his abode? What's so special about it? Who wants to go there and doesn't want to come back? No rebirth, highest perfection, and whose footsteps we are following? Who doesn't want to come back? Vaikuntha is free of anxiety. Yes, very good. You know, you can bail the PDF a little bit. Yeah. Yes, yogis. The yogis don't want to come back because we want to take an example from those realized souls. All right. So these are the best of human beings, right? So when they know that place, the spiritual place is full of bliss, why would I want to come back to this prison? Right? I don't want to. Plus the prison is just 1/4 of the entire creation. Okay. And there you have spiritual body, all right, and it's full of happiness there. Okay, no miseries. So when they know that it's a better place, so why would they want to come back here? They don't want to come back here because if a spiritual planet is full of happiness, what is this material planet filled up with? Miseries. Yes, that's on the contrary. Okay, what else? What else? What is the nature of this? Yes. Very good. You all can read my mind already. Yeah, full of miseries, temporary. Is there any more characteristics? I think that's about it, right? So if anybody recall anything, so can just share. Yeah, temporary and full of misery. Okay, so when you achieve Krishna's abode, you do not take birth again, right? Okay, then finally, does anyone remember the final verse? Krishna always conclude all the chapters by stating the supremacy of bhakti. Oh yes, that picture, isn't it? Yes, this situation will not happen in spiritual planet. Dasarathan Prabhu, what verse is that? We covered something important in that slide where we had this picture. Anybody remember? I give it a clue. Huh? Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna. What's the third one? Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punar Janmana Vidyate. I hope it's correct. Is it correct? Janani, please check. Is that correct? Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna. Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya. Who has Bhagavad Gita? Who can do the checking? No, is it 16? It says from the lowest to the, 16, is it? Lowest to the highest planet. Can somebody read out? Let's refresh a little bit.
Mataji, you want me to read?
Yes, can.
Brahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avantito Arjuna Mam Upetya tu Kaunteya Punar Janma Na Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Yes, okay, 16. All right, let's move on. Okay, the last one, I always say Krishna always concludes the chapter by establishing the supremacy of bhakti compared to other yogas. So devotees effortlessly or automatically achieve all results of yoga paths and all Vedic forms of purification. Okay, because they are engaged in devotional service. So this 8.28, remember this is the conclusion of chapter 7 and chapter 8. Okay, it particularly deals with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. So this is the sloka. So this is longer one. Okay, this is level syllabus, so the tune will be different. Okay, so this is the supreme position of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so this is the recap. Krishna is mentioning that pure devotee solely fixed on performing Ananya Bhakti. Pure Bhakti, yeah, unto him surpasses the paths of lightness and darkness. Okay, so with that, we are entering chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So in this chapter, Krishna is going to talk about the majestic aspect of Krishna and excellence of pure devotee. So when we talk about the most confidential knowledge, you must be wondering, did we cover confidential? Did we cover the more confidential? Why suddenly we are at most confidential? Okay, so my Guru Maharaj explains like this. The confidential knowledge is covered in chapter 2 and chapter 3. So chapter 2 and chapter 3 explains what? Basically, knowledge of what? Remember yesterday we did a full recap until chapter 7.
Body and soul.
Yeah, Sankhya Yoga, right? Knowledge of spirit and soul, how it is used for liberation. So that is knowledge of spirit, soul. Yeah, Atma. Very good. Yes. And Karma Yoga. Yes. Two things. Yeah. Chapter 2 and chapter 3. More confidential is chapter 7 and 8. The knowledge which brings about enlightenment about Krishna consciousness, Supreme Lord, and his energy. And then most confidential, knowledge about pure unalloyed devotion and delineates the glories of the Lord. Now, the important part here is this chapter 8, right? Yesterday, it was like it is called a tangent. This, tangent, maths, right? Maths. Okay, right. So before, from here, from more confidential, from chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, right? To go to most confidential, Krishna establishes the importance of coming to him through devotional service. And then he goes on, continue talking about the devotional service again. He continues, okay? All right, so we are at the most confidential knowledge. Okay, all right. Okay, let's start 9.1.
Can I read, Mataji? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence."
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So look at this picture. The person is breaking free from the what do you call that? Handcuff, right? Chain, breaking free from chain, off the chain. Okay, so there are 3 points here. Can somebody start telling what are the points here? What are the qualifications for somebody to hear about Krishna? What Krishna is saying here? Come, extract the points for us. Right? Never envious Krishna. So number one becomes advanced by hearing about Krishna. The qualification to hear about Krishna is non-envious. And what is the result? Material existence. Okay, so this is how we answer. Okay, so 3 points. Okay, can remember? Let's recap that again. So there is means, qualification, and the benefits. The means to become advanced is by hearing. Okay, qualification is to be non-envious. The benefit is will become free from material misery when he hears properly, and after hearing, cultivate the devotional service. So that's how it works. Okay, so this is our sandwich story. We covered karma and dhyana already. Now next week we will go into jnana yoga. Right now we are in bhakti yoga. Okay, now Krishna is going to talk about very important characteristics of the knowledge that he is getting. He's giving. Remember the topic of today, the most confidential knowledge. So he's giving characteristics of this knowledge. Who is next? Ramanathan Prabhu. I don't remember saying Prabhu's name today. Okay, Prabhu, are you
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, okay. Raja Vidya Raja Guyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksa Vagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. His knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So quickly, let's learn some Sanskrit words today. What is Raja Vidya? Who can catch very, very fast from the translation? Oh, I have to open the chat. Okay, very good. Yes, this is the first characteristic. Okay, what is Raja Guhyam? Guhyam. Okay, champion Lavanya Mataji. Hey, no, Shamala Mataji. Secret. We are learning secret today, huh? Most secret of the secrets. Okay, next one. Pavitram. Siapa champion tengok? Yeah, Prasanna Mataji. Okay. Next. Pratyaksha Vagamam. Okay, this one is a bit harder because we don't really see this. So the first characteristic is, yeah, very good, Ganesh Prabhu. Okay, king of education, Raja Vidya. Secret of all secret, Raja Guyam. Pavitram, purest knowledge. Okay, Uttama means highest, right? Is that how it is translated? Who has the Bhagavad Gita? Okay, and direct perception, Pratyaksha Vagamam, Dharmyam. Dharmyam, perfection of religion. Okay. What is the next? How many we covered? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that should be 8. Let's see. Later, I will list it down. What is the next one we can extract from here? By direct experience after that? That's Susukam. What is Susukam? Sukha. Sukha. What is that? Very happy. Yes, Kuhan Prabhu. It is performed joyfully, performed. Okay. All right. Joyfully performed, purest knowledge. So these are the points. Actually, there are 8 characteristics. Okay. So this is important. Yeah, it is the king of education, purest knowledge, joyfully performed. So we have to remember at least 3 we remember from here. Okay. Right. So okay, why this is important? Because it frees us from sinful reactions. Okay, that is why it is important, and it's kept in the middle of the book. Okay, at this point we can actually narrate Ajamila's story, but we will keep it for another occasion. Okay, we'll just move to 9.11. So remember the characteristics, at least you remember these 3. Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. Okay, you can remember Raja Guyam if you can remember the word. Pavitram, okay, and Susukum Kartam Avyayam. Okay, nobody is going to feel sad while doing garland for Krishna. Nobody is going to feel sad while serving you prasadam. So it is joyfully performed. So I'm also not crying when I'm talking to you, and you're also not chatting when you're crying. You're also happy. Hopefully you're happy. Okay, so let's fast forward to 9:11. Raghu Prabhu. Prabhu's not here. Anybody else?
I can read.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So, avajananti mam mudha. What is the meaning of mudha? Right. Okay. Janati Mahmuda. So this is very important verse whereby when Krishna comes down as human and he performs an ordinary human activity, people think that he's just a normal human. Or the best they will say, oh, he's a great person from the history, or he's a great teacher. I even heard people saying that he's a great guru, like that, or he's a statesman, like that. Or some can also say that, oh, he had a lot of opulence and strength because of his good karma. What else? And when he goes through some seemingly going through some difficulties or challenge, oh, you see, even Krishna is also suffering. So that means it's a common thing for everybody to suffer, because even God is also suffering. So this is all misconception that some people have. And this is the part that where Krishna said, fools delight in me when I descend in human form, for they do not know my transcendental nature. Because if you do not learn like this, you will never be able to analyze Krishna. Okay. So many people cannot understand the supremacy of Krishna. They will see that, oh, Krishna is also taking birth like a normal human. No, he does not. I don't come with toys like the Sangha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. We don't take birth like that. But when Krishna takes birth, he comes with full weapons and equipments and paraphernalia. Right? He doesn't do that. And the moment he was born and demon Putana came to feed him poison-filled milk, he killed her. No ordinary baby can do that. And when Krishna was barely 7 years old, he lifted Govardhan Hill with his little pinky finger on the lap. And who could do that? All right, so they can't. But what happens is that these bogus gurus, what they'll do, they will claim that they are God, they are Krishna, or because Krishna had so many girls, I'm also surrounded by so many girls. So why are you just following that? Why don't you lift up a Govardhan Hill? All right. Okay, so like this, Krishna said, fools deride me when I descend in the human form. Okay, and then a little bit of this chapter 9, yeah. So we think that if it is very important, very crucial for human being, and if its devotional service brings only joys, it's not and it ends miseries, it destroys ignorance, then why not everybody take up bhakti? Why not? All right, because people simply cannot understand Krishna truly. They are not confident. And because when they don't have confidence, they cannot put the faith on Krishna or in the activity they are going to do. All right. So because they only think him as a normal human being. So if you do not have great faith in somebody, like you don't have great faith in your dad or mom that they will protect you no matter what, you're not going to surrender to them. Yes or no? Right. So this is the same thing. All right. So they view Krishna as ordinary person. He can't be God. He just looking like us. Even Lord Brahma is bewildered. Right. Okay. So remember this story? Yesterday, Mataji narrated. So good thing it's not narrated yesterday already, so we don't have to narrate it today. Okay, I hope you all remember, yeah? So what happens in this story? Okay, on the contrary, what the Bhakta thinks, what the devotees think about Krishna. After knowing all these glories, his supremacy, his position, and everything, what do? Okay, job is done. I've done my studies. Now I'm going to go back to my ordinary, my routine, right? Because I've got some knowledge already. That's about it. Full stop. No, a devotee does not put a full stop after knowing Krishna. What he does is explained by Krishna in this verse. Ranganayagi Mataji. Mataji, are you here? Okay, Mataji, can? Okay, we move on. Who can? Dasaradan Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
O son of Partha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Right, thank you, Prabhu. So this is the Bhakta's characteristic. After knowing all this knowledge, what do? All right, this is what they do. They worship Krishna. They don't sit idle and just you know, like just retire to cave or mountain or river and then just do their japa alone on their own. No, what they do, they gather, they speak about him, they glorify him. Like tomorrow we're going to have Kirtan Mela, so it's going to be a blast. All right. So I don't know if you all have, some of you might not be familiar with Kirtan Mela. So if you can just go to YouTube and check Kirtan Mela Mayapur, you will see so many people will be sitting there at the big temple hall and fully singing, right? Fully singing with so many musical instruments. Okay. So what they do, they sit, they sing, they preach, they glorify. Okay, they share stories. So this is what they do. They do not sit idle. They are fully engaged in devotional service. Remember, where Krishna said in our earlier chapters, you have to engage the senses, because the senses is the outlet of the lust. The lust or the desire has to go out. So the outlet of lust or desire is sensor. Your hands wants to do something, your ears want to hear something, your eyes wants to see something, your mouth wants, your tongue wants to taste something. So we have to engage them. You cannot tell them, sit idle, don't do anything. We can't do that. Okay, it's not possible, especially in Kali Yuga. All right. So this kind of people, they will come under full protection of Krishna, just like how, what picture is this here on the right? Yes. Okay, Draupadi, very good. So this is basic Mahabharata knowledge, right? So she's very famous. Okay, and all right, let's move on. So we have, yeah, okay, so more pictures here. So this is when Draupadi was being disrobed. All right, all her 5 husbands were helpless. They cannot do anything. So at that time, Krishna comes and helps her. Okay, because he knows that she's a great devotee of his. Okay, so that's an example. And for family that engage their life or dedicate their entire life, money and everything, their house, their children for Krishna's service, they will be protected also. Okay. All right, I need somebody to read text 20 and 21. Who has Bhagavad Gita in your hand? I thought Harish Prabhu would like to read, okay, but he's not here. Somasundram Prabhu. Do you have Bhagavad Gita in your hand? Venukumar Prabhu.
Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
Okay.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Okay, thank you. So this is, I can hear myself. Okay, this is where Krishna is saying the destination of people who follow Vedic scriptures. Okay, remember this is Karma Kanda activity. Where do they go? They study the Vedas. Their life where they dedicate of doing things in order to achieve heavenly planets. So when they go there, remember the deposit that I say, the pious credits that you accumulate. Once you go to heavenly planets, after you exhaust it, you have to come down. All right. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. So Krishna is saying that this is why from the top to the lowest planetary material planet, birth and death always take place. Okay. Right, so the proof is in these 2 verses, so you can mark it and you have to remember it. Okay, so you know where to go to if you want to find this information. Okay, so on the other hand, what happens to the bhaktas? Sandhya Sri Mataji not able to read today. Manali Mataji, would you like to replace?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have.
Okay. This is an important sloka here. Okay, there is a story coming up. This is an important word here, Vahamyaham. So Krishna says here, those who worship me with exclusive devotion, I preserve whatever that you have, I will keep it. Whatever you don't have and you need, I will bring it to you. Okay, so here yoga. Yoga means union, isn't it? It's about helping the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness, okay, by yoga. Shemam. Shema means the merciful protection of the Lord. Okay, so when a person becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to miserable conditional life. So this is the special, this verse is actually very sweet. It's talking about special relationship Krishna has with pure devotee. All right, when Krishna sees somebody is very dear to him, like he dedicates his life to him, like you all are sitting like 1 hour. The class technically is 1 hour, but usually it's more than an hour. You're sitting before the class and even after the class you're sitting. So Krishna knows that it's either you are very dear to him or he's very dear to you. That is why this is happening. So Krishna will take care. He will provide and he will maintain. All right. If you are lack of something and Krishna finds that we need it, then he will give us. Okay. And if we need to maintain something, he will preserve it. All right. So in this, in the slide, there is one story here, a story of a Brahmana. Now this Brahmana, he was very poor. Right, he hardly had enough food to eat. So there was a point where he's actually frustrated, little frustrated. What, Krishna, I'm doing so much of devotional service for you, but I hardly have enough money to eat. You know, Brahmanas, what they do, they actually go by, they don't really work for money or, you know, they take up a permanent job or something like that. All right. So it's all about kais pagi, maka pagi, kais petang, maka petang, like that. All right. So he didn't have much money. All right. And he was very sad. He was very sad. And he was looking at this verse, Yoga Shemam Vahamyaham. And he was thinking, oh, Krishna, I don't think you meant what you said here. I don't have food to eat. And how can you say that? How can you claim that you will bring to us what we don't have? I don't have food. So what do I do? You're not giving me. So like that, he gets very angry and he will start scratching this word. He will scratch because he's very angry. Scratch, you're a liar, you're a liar, this is not true. So he leaves the house. All right, he tells the wife, okay, I'm going to go and take a bath. All right, so I'm just going to go and come back. So he will leave. Right, during his absence, 2 boys will come knocking on the door. So the wife opens the door and she saw 2 boys. All right, one was blackish and one was white. All right, and they were carrying a lot of food with them. All right, and they told the wife, here we brought some food as dakshina for our guru. So the wife was wondering, my husband has students that I didn't know. Okay, anyways, she was very surprised, but she took it. And when they were like trying to transfer the food stuff to her, she actually saw at the back of the boy, the black boy, there were a lot of scratches, like hit marks. All right, and she was so shocked. All right, and she asked, what happened to your body? Who did this to you? Oh, our master hit us. Our master beat us. Then she was thinking, oh, I don't think my husband is such a person. He wouldn't have done that. Yeah, he did it. Okay, now we have to go before he comes back. We are so afraid of him. So they'll quickly put the stuff and then they'll just vanish. Okay, after that, the husband comes back. When the husband comes and he saw there's a lot of food, then he was thinking, what happened? Where did she get this food from? Oh, there were 2 boys came saying that they are your students and they brought this food as dakshina. And then he was so surprised. I didn't send any food through any boys. Okay, then he was thinking, you know, and then the wife also said, but I also noticed there were scratches on the boy's body. All right, so this Brahmana was contemplating what could have happened. I didn't send any students with food. I didn't send any boys with food. And what is this scratch about? As he was wondering, and he went to the book where he left open and he saw the word scratched. All right. So then he realized what kind of fool he had been, how he had lost faith in the Lord's words, right? That he started doubting the Lord's word. But because he was such a surrendered soul, and he was so fortunate that Krishna himself came and provided what he didn't have by showing that, look, my word is true. All right, and I am going to take care of you. And that's how he personally came to take care of the Brahmana and the wife. Okay, so this is the Brahmana story for this Vahamyaham. Okay. All right, I need somebody to read text 24 and 25. This is also another destination. Who can read?
Mataji, I'll read.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I'm the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. 25. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is a different destination. Okay, so our destination, okay, Krishna say, depends on our choice. The choice of what object of worship that we are taking. Okay, so in the next verse, he will talk about the word. In the next verse, he will talk about how to love him in the most simple way. All right. And okay, why it is mentioned here is this, that all acts are meant for satisfying Krishna. So that means earlier I say whatever activities we do, we have to do as a sacrifice for Krishna. Same thing, whatever we have in our hand, all right, we have to offer it as a offering to him. Okay, so there is this very important sloka, and there is a story that follows as well, how an offering can be made very, very simple for Krishna. It doesn't have to be like so elaborate. Okay, Kuhan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes. I'll read this. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tatham bhakti upartam astami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. The simplicity of bhakti, love is the only qualification.
Okay, Prabhu, are you going to explain or you want to tell the story?
I will tell the story, Mataji. Then it will be much better to explain these.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so should I read? Okay. Okay. All right. So I will explain the pastime. This is the pastime of Krishna with the fruit vendor. All these pastimes we can see in the Bhagavatam. So I will try to keep it because in Bhagavatam it is in detail. So I'll try to keep it in a summarized manner. So once there was a fruit seller. She is probably this fruit seller is an old lady, and she is like a tribal lady. Her only occupation is like she collects fruits from the forest and she sells them to people in general. So one day she heard that Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda's son Krishna is born and is very beautiful. So she had a desire. She wanted to see who is this Krishna, So just to see him, what she did, she go and collected all the fruits, and she went to Nandagram to see Krishna. So once Krishna was happily playing in his home, just then he heard from a distance that this fruit seller, the lady, came, and she was trying to sell her fruit. So she called out to Krishna, I'm selling juicy fruits. Come and buy fruits from me. Buy fruits. Usually those days when people come to sell something, they will shout and call out the villages, and the villages will gather and see and buy things. So our little Krishna, what he thought is that he wanted to taste these juicy fruits. Someone brought fruits, so Krishna had a desire to eat it. So Krishna has seen that Mother Yasoda and also Nanda Maharaj, sometimes when they want to buy some things, what they do is that they were in exchange. Those days they were doing a bartering system. So what they did, they will exchange things with grains. So Krishna, I've seen this. So what they thought, okay, in exchange for the fruits, I should bring some grains. But as we know, little Krishna is little, so his palms are very small. So he gather as much as grains as he can from with his small palms, and he quickly ran towards the lady to get the fruits. But as the Lord was running towards the lady, his tiny hands could not hold much of the grains as he keep on falling down, through his fingers and everything. So by the time he reached the fruit seller, he just had few grains left. He offered those grains to the fruit seller and said, "Could you please give me those juicy fruits from your basket in exchange for these?" So when Krishna showed his hand, the lady looked at it, but the fruit seller was filled with love, and she was so captivated with Krishna's cuteness and innocence. So she was so charmed upon seeing the beautiful form of Krishna that even with the little hands, Krishna carried just few grains. She decided to give him how much fruits he wants. So what she did, even though she was very poor, she happily took the grains, and what she did was that with smile she gave all the whatever that Krishna can carry with himself. She gave all the fruits. So probably Krishna took around like 3 to 4 fruits, and he ran back. So the lady was very satisfied. So as Krishna already went back, what she did was, after seeing Krishna, she took the basket and she went walked towards home. But as she was going, she felt some heaviness in the basket. This basket is kind of heavy. Why is it heavy? Because she has given some fruits to Krishna, but it's heavy. So when she brought the basket down and she saw the basket is now filled with valuable jewels and golds and all this. These jewels are so valuable that you cannot. It is said it is equal to Kamsa's treasury. It is so valuable. So that is the story of this pastime. So the lesson from this pastime is that Krishna doesn't care about what we have done or who we are, because ultimately we are all eternal souls. If we simply offer a little love to Lord Krishna, he reciprocates with an ocean of infinite love. Srila Prabhupada has also quoted this, that if we take one sincere step towards Krishna, Krishna is willing to run thousands of steps towards us. Krishna just wants to see our sincerity. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so yeah, it's very nice, very sweet. Okay, right. So basically, that fruit lady has given whatever that she could give. Basically, she just, captivated, like Prabhu said, she was captivated over the cuteness of Krishna. Okay. All right. So here it is said that she's such a poor fruit vendor, right? Whatever she had, she gave Krishna. So like this, we also can offer whatever we have. And Krishna here has actually specified what are the things that we can give to him. A leaf, like tulsi leaf, right? A flower, any flower. A fruit, any fruit. Or water, I will accept it. But he did not say a leaf and water and fruit and a flower. Or you have to offer me all 4 of it together. He never said like that. He said all. Right, either one. Already this is very simple, and he said all. Okay, so from here we can see, number 1, Krishna is not a meat eater. He did not ask for animal sacrifice. Okay, he asked for simple things. 1 flower, one leaf, see, he didn't even ask 2 leaves, but he didn't ask a bunch of flowers. A leaf, a flower, fruit, 1 glass of water. So not necessary all at once, just 1 will do. And these are the things that's usually available everywhere in Malaysia. We don't have problem. And he's not greedy. As also, he's not hungry for all of this. All right. Okay. It's not like only when we feed him, he's going to be filled. No, sometimes this is a little bit of my grandma's story. Okay. When my uncles, they go somewhere, travel and come back, she will ask, what did you buy for me? She will ask that, Then sometimes they give her something, sometimes they don't. So when they don't, she will just turn away. Marajo, like that. So I asked my mom, Patti already has so many saris. Okay, when she said, did you buy sari for me? They'll say no, they no time or anything like that. Then I asked my mom, She already has so many saris. Why is she still asking for saris? Then my mom explained, it's not that she wants the sari. She wants to know whether they were thinking about her when they were traveling. All right. So, right. So like this, Krishna doesn't want our wealth. He wants to see how much we are thinking about him. And this story was, I was in secondary. I don't even know about this Krishna conscious, this activity, the love, the selfless love and offering to Krishna. I didn't know. But when I started learning this, I realized even human being wants like that. They don't want things. They want to see whether you're thinking about them. All right. So that is importance, right? The thoughts that count, right? We always say this word. So Krishna wants our love. Also, he's helping us to be detached from the opulence that we have. See, when we cook and give him, or when we cook and distribute to so many people, he's actually training us to be detached from our wealth. All right, our material opulence. So this is one. All right, but we are expressing our love by offering all of this. Okay, so in no way Krishna is obliged to us for receiving all this. We cannot one day can say, Krishna, I've done so much for you. You see, you're giving me so much of difficulties. We can't do that, right? He is not at our mercy. We are at his mercy. Why? Because Lord Brahma has said in Brahma Samhita that Krishna is being served by thousands of Lakshmis. Did I assign somebody to read this? Yeah, I think Sashi recommended.
Yes, Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great relevance and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis and Gopis.
Right, thank you, Mataji. So these prayers from Brahma Samhita, we can actually use this to sing to Krishna. Okay, you can just go in front of your altar. It's good that we glorify the Lord by songs that are written by great personalities in the past. So you can sing this, all right? So the tune is like this. So maybe you can replay the recording if you want to sing along. Chintamani prakarasatma sukalpa vriksha Lakshavruteshu surabhira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shatasam brahma sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So like this, there are so many verses in this Brahma Samhita book. So you can pick and choose and sing one or two verses. So in ISKCON temples, when the deities open to give darshan in the morning after they are decorated and dressed and everything, we will sing two verses from Brahma Samhita. Okay, so it's good to greet the Lord by reciting some prayers. Okay, so the point here is that you can see the tender of the cow, he is yielding all desire, and he is staying in an abode bedecked with spiritual gems and is surrounded by millions of purpose trees. Purpose trees means kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means desire fulfilling trees. All right, that means if you want something, you can tell the trees and the trees will give you. So that's how rich Krishna's abode is. And on top of that, he is served by thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Lakshmi Sahasra, Sevyamanam. So if he is staying in a place full with jewels and wish-fulfilling trees, served by thousands of goddess of fortune, where we are doing lots of homas and praying for Lakshmi to come to our house, but thousands of them serving Krishna's lotus feet, what is the necessity for him to come to our house, sitting at the altar, looking for our food and offering, right? He doesn't have to, isn't it? It's not possible to find the amount of food to serve him. He is so huge also. Later in chapter 11, we will see how huge he was. All right, so Govinda, Krishna has so many names. Okay, so when Krishna kills the demon Madhu, he is called Madhusudana. When he kills the demon Keshi, he is called Keshini Sudana. When he tend to the cows, he calls Govinda, because Go means cows. So each and every pastime that he performs, he gets the name based on that. When he performed the pastime where he broke the pot, Mother Yashoda chased him, and mother tied his rope around his belly to the grinding mortar, that is called Damodara. Okay, Damo means belly, Udara means rope. So the one bound by rope around the belly, it's called Damodara. Right, like this, he has so many names, right, based on his pastimes. Okay, yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so because he served, he's rich already. Okay, so it's not possible for us to give all our opulence to him. So we can offer some of our opulence, but the important aspect is the love. All right, love and devotion, that is important. That is why he mentioned here this bhaktiya comes 2 times. With love and devotion. Okay, 2 times, very important. Okay, let's move on. Another story time here, that's from me. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. See how fast I can go. All right, who knows who's Vidura? Anybody knows who's Vidura? Or if you don't know, you can let me know. This is a past character from Mahabharata. Okay. All right, who knows King Dhritarashtra?
Mataji, he is Draupadi's brother-in-law.
Right. Okay. Right. Who knows King Dhritarashtra?
He is Vichitra Virya's.
Vidura is Draupadi's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Really, Prabhu?
He is a Vesa Vyada's relation. I mean, Vaishya Vyada had a relationship with the maid, and then Vidura born out of that.
I see. Okay. Maybe I missed that one. Yeah, the one that I know is Vidura is brother of Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra's brother. Okay, so but these 2 characters, right, they are total opposite. Dhritarashtra, even though he's blind, he's very attached to the throne. After him, he wants the sons to take the throne. All right, and he doesn't want to give it, and that's another reason why the Mahabharata war was inevitable. All right, so later when they lost, right, Dhritarashtra still doesn't want to let go of the throne. So later in Bhagavatam, Vidura will give lots of advice to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, you're old already, you should retire to the forest, you know. He will give this kind of advices to Dhritarashtra. So now back to this story.
Sorry, Mataji, can I clarify something?
Prabhu?
Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Viduras are brothers, right?
Yeah.
Pandus. Oh yeah, yes. So these 3 are Vichitra Virya's sons, right? Dhritarashtra and Pandu are Vichitra Virya's son.
Okay, that I'm
But
not
since
sure.
he can't have children.
Okay, who?
Vichitra Virya.
Pandu, right?
Yeah, Pandu.
Children, yes. Pandu can't have children, right?
No, the father, Pandu's father. Vichitra Virya is Pandu's father, right?
No idea, Prabhu. I have to check on that. I have to check on that. Anybody has a knowledge on
because
this?
Draupadi marries to. Oh, no, sorry, not Draupadi.
Kunti.
Kunti.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused. How can Draupadi become sister-in-law?
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, Kunti's brother-in-law, is it?
Kunti's brother-in-law. Yes.
Yeah, if you're talking about their brothers, then yes, of course. But the more direct relationship that is easy for people to remember is his King Dhritarashtra's brother. Okay, so he was, Vidura was with Dhritarashtra, Pandu was Pandavas separately, okay, and then he went to the forest with Madri. Okay, right. So what happened here is that Vidura, on the contrary to Dhritarashtra, he is not a materialistic person. He's a very simple person. He lives in a hut. All right. So he lives in the hut with the wife. right? And Krishna naturally favors him more because of the simplicity, and Vidura is a devotee of Krishna. So one day what happened is that there was entourage of Krishna. This is pretty close to the war. Okay, so Duryodhana tried to, allure Krishna to come to his side, things like that. So he invited Krishna to come to his house for makan. All right, Krishna with his entire entourage, he was not comfortable to go to Duryodhana's house. But he knows the Vidura's house is nearby. He will tell, you all go to Duryodhana's house. I am going to Vidura's house, or somehow, some reason he will say, and then he will just escape from that place and he will go to Vidura's house when Vidura was not at home. So when he appeared there, Vidurani was caught unprepared. Okay, they are too poor, they're very poor. I think they only had banana or something. All right, and Krishna came, I'm coming in. Do you have anything to eat? All right, so she, of course, she was like, she panicked and frantically looked for some food to give him. So she gave Krishna some simple place to sit down, and she quickly took some banana. That's all she had. But, just like that fruit vendor lady was so captivated and charmed by Krishna's beauty, the little Krishna, same thing happens to Vidurani. So she was so mesmerized with Krishna's presence there, Krishna's beauty and everything. Out of love and devotion, she started peeling the banana, throw the banana and give the peel to Krishna. And this went on. It went on until Vidura steps into the house and he realized what the wife was doing. Vidurani, what are you doing? You are feeding peel to Krishna. And then she came to her senses and she apologized profusely. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Here, take the banana. Then Krishna actually said, no, don't stop her. I want to eat this. And he wanted the peel because she was giving out of love. Right? She forgot herself. She forgets herself when she wants to feed him. Right, but when she came to senses, she said, oh, forgive me, please take this banana. Then Krishna said, no, I don't want, I want only this peel. Then Vidura asked, why, Krishna? Because it was offered with love. Because later when she comes to a consciousness, then Krishna doesn't want the banana anymore, he wants that peel. All right, so it doesn't matter what we offer to Krishna, it has to be with love. Do you all remember one story from Ramayana also, like this, one old lady? Do you remember the story? Anybody knows the berry story? What she did? She was.
She tasted first.
Who's the lady?
Sabri.
Sabri, yes. And what did she do? Wow, not bad. Venugopal Prabhu, Ganesha Prabhu.
What she wanted to do?
What she wanted to do?
He wanted to make sure that his god is having the sweetest fruits. So his god should have good fruits to eat. That's why she tested all the fruits to make sure that all are good, nobody is sour. So that kind of thing.
Yeah, she tasted it. We are not supposed to do that. We have to taste after Krishna tasted. But out of love, she doesn't care about all the rules and regulations. And she started giving, she's biting and giving, all right? And Lakshman gets so angry. How can this happen? He tried to stop Rama. You cannot take her remnants. They say, it's okay. She's giving out of love. So yeah, like that, right? But we can't do that. We are not that elevated. Okay, so that is fruit vendor and Vidura story. All right, now we are coming to the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Actually, this course is called Essence of Bhagavad Gita. Gita Gyan, Essence of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so here Krishna is saying what a devotee will do. What is the characteristic? What is the activity and how to become his devotee? He is giving 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 items here. 9:34. Whose turn?
It's my turn. Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji.
No.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisance to me. Worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
All right. Thank you, Mataji. So there are 4 things. Think of me. Mana means mind. Use your mind to think of me. Bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. Bhakto means devotee. Namaskuru, pay obeisance. Then parayana is worship. Is it? Who has Bhagavad Gita? Can you see the word-to-word translation? The worship's coming from which word? Is it parayana? So being completely absorbed in me, you will come to me. Okay. Right. So this is one example. How do we constantly remember Krishna? We have to chant. This is engaging the mind. Right. So we engage what? In what manner? We have to engage our mind on his eternal form, his form, deity form, or if you have picture in your house, so you meditate on that picture and let your tongue vibrates on the holy name. All right. So this is the best way to think. All right. And then here, you have to hear. What we are doing now is hearing. All right. When you speak, I hear. When I speak, you hear. So if you haven't heard of Krishna, there's nothing to think about him because we don't have any knowledge about him. The more we hear, the more things we have to think about. Mat, Yaji is worship. Okay. Mat Yaji. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Thank you, Kritika Mataji. Okay. Then become his devotee. Right? Be devotee to Krishna. So this way you engage your body, mind, senses, everything, all your activities in his service without deviation. Without deviation means in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned two things. Your devotional service should be devoid of these two things. Motivation, it should be unmotivated and it should be uninterrupted. It's called ahaytuki aparatihata. It shouldn't be motivated. Krishna, I'm giving you this, later you give me this, yeah? Cannot be. All right. Krishna, you give me this, I will give you this. This one also cannot. Okay. No business deals. All right. It's selfless. All right. And apratihata, unmotivated, uninterrupted. Uninterrupted means, okay, tomorrow I have this, so I don't do this for you. Cannot, right? Tomorrow I have to go here, so sorry, Krishna, cannot. So it should not be it should not be interrupted. It should be uninterrupted. So these two things. Okay. Saman mana bhavakto yaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktaiva. Worship me. Think of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance and worship. So these are the illustrations. Okay. So offering obeisances, yeah, generally people don't like to bow down. I don't like to bow down. You know, there's sometimes they do that. All right. So if you don't bow down to God, then you'll be forced down to bow down to old age, disease, and death. So we rather bow down to Krishna. Okay, so that we will be released by this endless chain of repeated cycle of birth and death. So, and worship, how you worship? You do arati, you offer flowers, you offer incense. Okay, even a child can do that, offer incense, do 3 times, 7 times, like that, or offer some ghee lamp. All right, what else? Offer some water. Okay, so you worship like that. So these are the 4 most confidential knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you do all this regularly, then our mind will be absorbed in Krishna. So you go to work, you drive, you do whatever, Krishna will be running in your mind. So I hope, I wish those who have shared earlier that your mind, you are seeing Krishna everywhere, your mind is filled with more Krishna stuffs. So I hope it's more, all right? In chapter 12, we will see different categories of devotees. Okay, so at that time, you can check where are you, which category we are in. Okay, so these are important instructions. Essence of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, slide reading. Who is this? Subhashini Mataji. Are you here, Mataji?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Mataji.
By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one immediately concentrates on the sound vibration and thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord. And very quickly, one is elevated to the position of samadhi or trance. If one goes on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, naturally his mind becomes absorbed in thought of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. So this part here, right, samadhi, do you remember the Ashtanga Yoga ladder? So the Ashtanga Yoga ladder got 8 limbs, right? So can you tell me samadhi is at what level? Who remembers? A very easy question, right? Which ladder is this samadhi? Yes. Right, very easy, right? The highest, the topmost, right? So now earlier Krishna has given us ladders to go up. So here in this chapter and also in this purport, Krishna is giving us the escalator, straight pergi atas. So how to go to the top? Go on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which is not different from the Supreme. What does that mean? Okay, for example, I tell you, you are thirsty, all right? You need to drink water. If we say water, 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 will it quench your thirst? No, all right? So you have to drink the water to quench the thirst. But when you chant Krishna, 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 then that is Krishna. All right. So Krishna can love us through his name. So this is actually a tagline by Achyuta Gopi Mataji, and I really like this line. Okay. Through his name alone, he can love us. Okay. He doesn't have to come to love us. By us chanting, he's already present in that holy name. So that's what it means. The names of the Lord is not different from himself. Okay. By chanting, Krishna is already present in us. Okay, we can think of Krishna in any features. It will purify us. You want to think of him as a vigraha? Surely, right? If you think of him as a holy name, surely. Everything, even his paraphernalias are non-different from it. In fact, paraphernalias are actually the incarnations of Lord Brahma. So everything is non-different from him. Okay, all right. So we will keep this here. We will recap this next week. Monday. So with that, we have actually completed half of our journey, half of our 18 days. We finished chapter 9 already. Okay, so we will see more interesting things about Krishna in chapter 10 and more interesting thing in chapter 11. Krishna will show us the universal form. Okay, so thank you very much. Is there any questions? If no, then can call it a night. Yeah, okay. So like I mentioned earlier, tomorrow, no class. So all can come to Kirtan Mela in our temple tomorrow. Okay. And if you know, if you heard of Lokanath Maharaj, he's expected to be around. Okay. Throughout the Kirtan Mela. So please, please, please come. He is called the Kirtan King. Okay? You can just YouTube his Kirtan. Right. Very mesmerizing Kirtan. Okay, Sivaranjani Mataji.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes, Mataji.
Earlier you mentioned in the story, right, that he scratched the Bhagavad Gita, and then the scratches actually appeared on Krishna's body. So I was just wondering, like, is it wrong to, because I used to highlight my Bhagavad Gita, so I just wanted to know, like, is it wrong? Is it not advisable?
Okay, I used to do that. So after knowing the story, because you used to have counselor system previously, so I checked this with the Prabhu, and he said, yes, we are not supposed to scribble on the book or highlight or underline, you know, like that. What we can do is you can put post-its, right? And you can try to protect the book that way. So we try not to scribble anything on the book because it's all Krishna's words. However, recently I had a conversation on this with one Prabhu, Shanti Vardhana Prabhu. He said that he does it. So it really depends, Mataji. Like myself, I stopped doing it. I don't do it. I make sure I don't touch my Bhagavad Gita, anything. So I probably put a bookmark or note or anything like that. But I have this book. I have this book where I printed all the verses. Then this why I highlight. But the actual Bhagavad Gita, I don't. So for preaching purpose, I have to do this to keep notes.
So Mataji, sorry for asking. I just want to confirm because now there's like
you're not the first one. I've been asked this question so many times already. So that's why I was like smiling. Okay. So I tried.
Because like there's now two conflicting answers, right? Like you said cannot, and then Santi Prabhu said can. So if where do I get the answer, like the exact answer? Like, okay, this is according to, like, memang cannot. Like, where do I check, Mataji?
Okay, let me ask my Guru Maharaj. I will ask Guru Maharaj.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
think for me, that will be final. So I can share that with you, Mataji. Okay. All right, Krishna will be covered in colorful post-it stickers. Yeah. All right. Okay. Any more questions? Monday, yes, we have. So Monday is Ekadasi. So please try to come. It's auspicious. So let's have class on Monday. All right. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.